Yo-ay-yo, home varay. Yo-ay-ra, Jaroom running G.
More Lexx Appeal, you guys.
Okay, this has been
what's wrong with you sometimes?
This is the first episode we have seen in like
A few weeks.
more like a bit more than
A
that
few weeks.
because
been a
one of us
I've been busy.
doesn't like Lexx, so I'm all like, I want to watch Lexx, but I can't because Omega's not
No,
here.
that's-
And then Omega's like, no, you haven't what Lexx is bad. Freedom equals yeah, pierogi.
Pierogies aren't American, they're Polish.
Yeah, but you say pierogi a lot.
But, well,
I'm Omega.
I don't say it randomly, I say it like in the context of meals, like discussing pierogies.
Pierogi.
I don't just walk out here like, pierogi. That'd be a really great take if I did. So what was this episode called?
Was.
W-O-Z. And so,
What was it called? It was.
So they go to the, so basically, 790 is crying at the beginning because of the tragedy, which I thought was the fact that, oh wait, because of Patches in the Sky, we know that the universe has like a few months left. But no, it turns out that, that Zev has an expiry date that was set by the machine that 790 was operating when she became a sex slave in the first episode. And apparently he never thought to mention it before now because he thought that she knew, he didn't think it was important, you know, he didn't want to bring it up.
And the crying was started because he realized it was 79 hours
I don't know why
until she
that was
gonna
like the magic number.
die.
Like,
790, 79.
oh, okay, I remember.
You should have probably gone for 790 hours.
0.0 or something.
Yeah. It was like, yeah! So they gotta go to find a Lusticon
Despite the fact
machine.
that it's not her original body, because, yeah, she was reconstituted.
She was love-slaved, and then she died and was brought back to life, so unless Laika rebuilt her with the same expiry date...
I don't know why Laika would do that.
Or how.
Because everyone forgot about Laika, is how it goes.
Yeah, Laika's still apparently on board, but, yeah, it doesn't really exist.
Yeah. So, there's only one more Lovotron. What's it called?
Lusticon.
Lusticon. But she left, and it's on this way outpost called Woz. And they go there, they go all the way to Woz.
Yeah, apparently there was a bunch of miners there. This place used to be a really bustling mining type place. So they sent a Lusticon out there so the miners would have some entertainment. And then it
No,
became...
it was they had problems keeping clerics there.
Oh, was that it? Okay.
Same difference, really, though.
Yeah, and the place became desolate, and it became like a abandoned outpost, and then so it avoided the cleansing somehow.
Yeah, because that's really a good movie.
Possibly because the Divine Order hated they hated irony because the Wozzard of Woz, one of the rulers of Woz.
As soon as I heard about that, I'm like, wait a second, is this going to be a Wizard of Oz parody? She goes, yep.
But the Wozzard of Woz is played by Walter Borden.
What?
Who was the voice of the Divine fucking Shadow.
His Divine Shadow.
Walter Borden, who was one of the stars of Gerontophilia.
He comes across like an evil Ben Vereen, actually.
Everyone's Ben Vereen for you now.
No, just because the one guy had a similar face, and then he had a similar, like, you know...
Like, he starred in a Bruce LaBruce movie called Gerontophilia, where he plays, like, an 80-year-old man who falls in love with a teenage boy. And the teenage boy... No, not teenager, like, early 20s, and they have a romance.
So anyway...
It was awesome. You get to see the Divine Shadow's Divine Shadow dick.
But yes, they land on this planet, and they immediately crush someone because, you know, Wizard of Oz, but...
Someone called Dodo.
Yeah. And it... Oh, no Doctor Who reference.
I know, the dead as a dodo.
Yeah, I know, but I'm like, wondering if... Because wasn't Dodo a Doctor Who companion?
It was, but I sincerely doubt it was a reference to that.
But yeah, so there's these,
Dorothea Chaplet. Dodo was her nickname.
Okay. So, yeah, there's this whole commune of women run by this guy, and the first thing I thought was pimp, but he's like, okay, well, yeah, put her in the machine and we can help her out. Oh, wait, we don't have the part that we need. The Dark Lady has it.
Oh, no, it was, if you have to kill our arch nemesis, the Dark Lady, or we won't fix Zev. So when Kai and Stan go off to kill the Dark Lady, because she's totally evil, you guys, then the Wozzard is like...
apparently she takes girls and uses the machine to make them into sex slaves, and then only gives them a 7-day expiry date, sells them to men who will then come back to her for more after 7 days.
Yeah.
Is what they're told.
So, but then the Wozzard is like, turn Zev back into how she was, not Ava Haberman, pre-Ava Haberman. And he's like, this is your true inner beauty, maha, I can't make you...
And she's like, no, I was part cluster lizard, what have you done?
And I can't make you live any longer, so you're gonna die in like 3 hours, and you're gonna be ugly, and here...
Yeah, he's like, I was touched by the light, and women need to see their real inner beauty, it's not what the men beast lust... And basically, he comes across as kind of like... a straw man? Is that a good kind of way to say it? Like a straw man or a Poe of... Like, a guy who's, like, so super feminist, but is that super feminist that you're like, so what's your deal? Like, are you white knighting for a purpose? Are you really, like, really think that? I mean...
I'd
like,
say he's a satire on a particular minority of feminist men who use being feminist as a cover to be misogynist. And sort of so they can be like, I'm going to dominate all the first ones, by being so... Like, kind
of like being like a messiah, because he's, like, leading their little cult.
Yeah, that...
And there's, like, a great little illustration about why you should love yourself, or, like, guys are made up of, like...
A banana.
A banana, but what was the fruit that represented the balls? Was it two coconuts?
Cantaloupe.
It was some kind of melon.
Yeah, it was like stop-motion fruit was used to represent
the
things.
woman was a potato with 2 more potatoes for tits and a parsley for head and carrots for legs.
And it was dancing around.
And we were eating Vietnamese, and I was like, I don't want to be a stew. I don't want to be a stew.
But the Wozzard, he's not just a satire on that. He's like a cross between that and... Originally I was just thinking cult leader, but then I realized partway through it's a parody of a particular cult leader. Marshall Applewhite.
But you don't know.
The Heaven's Gate guy.
Just do it.
Because he was so into everyone looking,
That's
looking
tasteless,
and dressing the same.
If you were offended by the show.
And sort of, he wanted everyone to be as close as possible, gender and sex-wise as well. Like, he would have all the men castrated, stuff like that. So it's like,
and they were...
That's who he is.
Weren't they all engineers, too? Were they all programmers or something?
A lot, that sort of area, a lot of them were,
I was a teen when...
Michelle Nichols' brother was in it.
Oh, no. That's terrible.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're too young to know what Heaven's Gate is, they were a cult. They were a Silicon Valley cult, as I recall.
Yeah.
Were they not? And they worshipped a comet that they thought its passing by had a spaceship on it. They would go on, their souls would go on the spaceship, and they would go off into the galaxy and, like, do galaxy stuff. So they all poisoned themselves as the thing was coming past. And I think one person was actually left alive, like, on purpose to document everything, and so when first responders got there, he could be like, I stayed behind to tell you all about it. But it was hard. I mean, when it happened, it was horrifying, because you always would hear about, like, Jonestown and stuff like that. Because, I mean, that would happen before I was born, but it was one of the biggest mass suicides that I can remember. And quite frankly, some of the pictures they showed in the news were very shocking, because they were all in bed with their faces covered, fully clothed with, like, sneakers, and they worshipped Nike because the Nike swoosh, it reminded them of the comet. And it was just, quite frankly, very disturbing. So if you want to know more, Google it. I'm sure if you don't remember, you can find stuff about that.
I think it's very Lexx-ish to parody Marshall Applewhite and then parody all the bits that people aren't too familiar with.
When was Lexx made? Lexx was made late 90s, right?
Yeah, and that happened like 96.
96, yeah. Wow, that was kind of actually pretty topical.
Timely, yeah. But everyone else, if they were going to parody like Marshall Applewhite or whatever, they would parody the suicide. They would parody the the UFO connection or whatever. But with them, it looks like they're going after things that are less famous, which, if I'm right and it is an Marshall Applewhite thing, then, congratulations for the obscurity.
If you're Lexx, like the show. But yeah, so they go off to the compound of the Dark Lady, who is kind of nefarious looking anyway, and she has
she sounds like Rogue from X-Men, the animated series of the 90s.
And why is that?
Because it is Rogue from the X-Men animated series of the 90s.
Actress. And so they don't really infiltrate, they break in, and Kai's like, well, you stay here because I don't really need you actually standing since, because he's all sorts of has issues about killing people now ever since he felt guilt for killing the robot planet.
Yeah, and I'm kind of wishing that Kai had they'd just, like, okay, Kai, go and kill her, and then Kai came back like 2 minutes later just covered in blood. Because he didn't actually need something, it was just there so they could have scenes.
Yeah.
Because a little bit boring, which is Kai going, do, 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 kill, 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 return.
Yeah, so then the Wozzard of Woz, I feel so stupid saying that.
With his suicide bomb vest?
Yeah, he does make a suicide bomb vest. He and his followers go off, because the real reason they sent Kai to kill her was so that he could infiltrate the base to let them in so they could suicide bomb the place. And so he tells Zev, okay, well, you're pretty much going to die. So he leaves her strapped to the machine with,
she's got a couple of hours to live, and he cannot fix her age thing, so...
Playing their theme song or their indoctrination tape over and over and over
with
again.
With stop motion, sort of potato salad
bouncing.
woman dancing around in front of her constantly.
Your inner beauty is yourself. It's not what men think that you should be.
Sounds like a children's song.
It does. You know, this is totally unrelated, but you know when the guy that wrote Repo, the Genetic Opera, they asked him about the song Zydrate, and he said, well, I wrote it to be kind of like a children's nursery rhyme, you know, like an instructional kind of thing, but that even children could remember how, this is how you take this drug. And that just made me think of that, so. Anyway.
I can see that.
But yeah, so, well, you know the rest. I mean, Stanley gets into compromising situations, and then Luck gets him out of it.
He gets forced to be stripped by some guard woman. And then we discover that the Dark Lady is not doing all those evil things.
No.
She's just a woman who's got a severe deformity, who the Lusticon cannot work on her. So she's trying to make people who come to her attractive.
And they go off and live their lives. And then, so she's like, please don't kill me, Kai. He's like, it's not, I have to kill you. I said that I would.
But I will regret it.
Yeah. And she's like, but I'm a good person. I have killed many good people. And she's like, please, I really am a good person. And then the guy's like, haha, I came with my suicide vest. And Kai's like, well...
Well, I'm not needed here anymore.
Yeah, he's like, I have decided not to kill you. And she's like, that's good. He's like, but I can't stop him. She's like, well...
Yeah, he picks up the pieces that...
He does. They're arguing, the Wozzard of Woz, whatever. And he just picks up the piece and then goes away.
They're sort of yelling at each other with tragic backstory, and then he picks up this little plasma ball, which is apparently the part that the other Lusticon was needing in order to fix the age thing. So then Kai's just like, do, and then he sort of runs, because suicide bomb.
Well, no, because then you find out what this is really about. And he's like, you don't understand love. And she's like, I know what love is because I've never had it. And blah, 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 and things and stuff. And she, like, her face is, like, very classically beautiful, but she has this, like, her head is, like, comes to a point with, like, all these tumors and stuff. And so he's like, you stole the only woman I ever loved. You know, I saw her inner beauty and she was happy, but then she came to you and got made beautiful, and then she went away. And so she dumped you. That's not my fault. And so you're like, oh, okay, I see his angle. I see his church of women are inner beauty and men just are horrible, slavering lust monsters that force women to, you know, be the way that they shouldn't be, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But the thing with Zev is it's not, like, also she's half cluster lizard.
Yeah.
So, like, she's like, no, don't turn me back. And he's like, no, you just think that you don't want it that because you've been programmed to think that and those men don't care for you. And would have been a perfect time for her to be like, Kai doesn't need to care about me. He's dead. He has, like, no ulterior motive, whatever. Stanley, not so much. But, like, there's also the fact that being half cluster lizard makes her stronger and more resilient, and she can do other things. So, just saying.
And she can control cluster lizards.
Yeah. But yeah, so he suicides, and the Dark Lady dies, and the compound is blown up with all of the sex slaves.
Kai does this wonderful sort of run, and then leaps onto a wall, and then runs across the wall, and then... It's great.
That must have been fun for his actor to do.
Yeah.
Or just you guys.
Because I love Kai's movements in a way, because you know, the guy who plays Kai is a very serious actor. Later on in season 4, they parody him by letting him play a different version of Kai who's a very serious performance artist, and they were just basically taking the piss out of the guy who plays him. But his usual sort of walk, it looks like he's slightly drunk and he's walking in slow motion. Like he's in a straight line, but he doesn't look like he looks like he's constantly going to the side, but he's actually going forward.
Maybe it's because I was shoulders angle, I don't know.
Yeah, but this one he's just like, running on the wall. Woo! It was great.
But yeah, so then Stan, because Stan ran off earlier on, he's like, Kai, you're okay? He's like, yeah, I'm fine, let's go. And so they go back to the now empty compound, and they fix Zev, and she's been given 79 years, which is the maximum amount, so there you go. And then they get back on the ship, and she goes, you know what, 790? And he's like, what's that? She goes, there's no place like home. And I was like, blow up the planet, Oh, they didn't need to, because in Mantrid... Do they not just, like, look in the rearview mirror ever and see Mantrid's arms following them across the galaxy, like, eating all the NPCs and things they leave behind?
Well, probably. I mean, in Mantrid, they know Mantrid's out there, and he...
Also, why was this guy the only guy? I mean, I know that it wasn't a thriving planet. Like, I know that it was an outpost. But where did all these women come from? Why was he the only guy? Were they, like, lesbian clerics? I mean...
I think he probably killed most of the men because they were slavering with lust monsters.
Oh, that's a good point.
And
slavering with lust monsters, right?
The women who he has are possibly ones who were lusticonned and got brainwashed by him.
Converted.
Or people who were already there.
But yeah, so this basically was like 5 different levels of Tumblr and the internet. And it predated all that, so that was kind of cool, actually.
Well, it didn't predate the internet.
No, but it predated our part of the internet. Like, it was like the proto-net back then.
Yeah.
There wasn't really social media. There wasn't really bitching yet.
It's like various internet arguments all the way down.
Oh, it so was. I had so much fun. I was like, hashtag not all religious leaders.
Not all suicidal cult leaders.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, so that was this episode. It was actually pretty good. I liked it better than Patches in the Sky. What's next?
The web.
Oh, this is one of the ones that you hate.
The web and the net would be fine if they were individual. However, having them back to back, oh god.
I'll probably like them because you
should not be a two-parter.
How many more do we have left in the series?
The net, the web, Brigadoon, Breeze on, End of the Universe.
We only have 5 more episodes left in season 2.
And season 3 is only like 12 episodes long.
Well, so maybe some year we'll actually get the series finished. So, as you probably know, because you're watching it on YouTube right now, that none of my stuff is going up on Blip anymore. There is now a, there's now a Lexx Appeal playlist in order. So, this one will be added to the playlist as the last one. So
they
if you
realize this if they're watching it. If you
well,
because
no, but what if they're watching it through Titlecard or through Channel Awesome? I mean,
well,
or it in bed.
They'll see it on YouTube.
No, but if they're watching it on Channel Awesome, it'll just show up as an embed.
They'll know it's on YouTube though.
Yeah, but they won't know about the playlist.
You are right. You are best me. You may smack me with Zev.
I know, but there you go.
You're supposed to do it dramatically in front of the
I'm not
screen.
because I'm.
Special views.
Okay. So that's been us, and we'll see you real soon, probably, for the next. Oh God, Hawking will die.
We should watch those 2 back to back, so I can scream about how fucking pointless they are. We need to watch them close together.
Okay.
To get the full unnecessariness of them.
Stop shouting. I think people have gone to bed.